Hey guys, welcome back to another Cosmo Cross video. Today we are in Columbia, Missouri, racing Cosmo Cross. And my first mistake of this whole race was to not get past this kid before this first corner. Let him have the inside, and I really should have sprinted a lot harder, but you know what? I had faith that I was going to be able to get past him eventually. But there was a $50 premium called on this first lap, and man, there's no money in cyclocross racing anyway, which is fine. But it was a very, very expensive trip for me because I had to get a hotel, and it was a 4.5 hour drive here. And I just kind of wanted to make some of my money back, so I kind of had an idea that they were going to do this because they did this in the 4.5s women race as well. And I just wanted to make it to the front. We're going to kind of go through the whole first lap here. Kind of the stuff that makes this course interesting is, you know, the sand pit, which is coming up, and then all these like little areas where the I don't know. This is the first time running through the sand, and it was interesting. But yeah, all this like not grass. So there was quite a few of these corners that you could really get yourself into a whole lot of trouble in. They had a speed limit. Some of them did. Some of them were just full out all the way through, but others were definitely speed limited by the amount of grass that was tore up. And it was kind of like loose over hard. It was probably at 83, 84, 85 degrees, somewhere in there when we started our race here, but that's okay. Of course, I'm running a cross bike with no bottle cages, which means no water on board. This was my first of two races. I raced them back to back, and it was not a great showing for me. So this guy's slowing up here, so I decided to go past him, try to keep the speed up, and just try to string the field out even more than it already is. I'm sure if you've been able to look kind of back where the course doubles back, it's all over the place. So there just a second ago you saw a drone flying by. They were running a drone this shot, and I don't know, they got some pain faces in me, boy, I'll tell you, because it was in front of me a lot, and I was grimacing probably more than you want to. A few corners on this course that I just never got a hold of. That was one of them. This corner was fine. I started taking this corner better later in the day, but that culvert's looking awfully tasty. Almost ended up in it. This corner always got me. I think it was because the skinny was there, just on the outside of the tape. And you know, the tape is definitely not lava, but it is what it is. Like, this whole section was bad for me, and then like this corner, I go wide. It's just not great. I get pushed wide, and the kid comes back through underneath me. I wish I remember his name. I don't know who that is. I'm sure if you were to ask him who I am, he'd probably know. But one of the other things about this course is this is the training grounds for Cycle X. This is a bike specific training ground, so they have like pump track and everything else. He kicks a stake. I run wide into him with him. This guy on a flat bar mountain bike comes by, and here we go. The battle is on for that position. Like I was saying, this is the training ground, so these guys know everywhere to be and everywhere not to be. So you know, you definitely get home field advantage if you're from here, and if you race through here a lot, because you know they don't set the course up at the same every single week. But you know, if you race in the same area every Tuesday or Thursday or whatever it is, you're going to just know where all the lines are. But no, it's super fun. This was like a little off-camber section. I got real stressed out because if you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that pedal strikes have been a bane of my existence this year. So when things go off-camber, I start really getting stressed. Yeah. And this is kind of the last corner onto the end straightaway, and I don't know, man. Didn't have it. $50 is gone right there. This guy just didn't get back on the pedals. Gaps open into the flat bar mountain biker, and I am digging to stay with him. So this is kind of the end of the lap. So the start line's over here in the gravel. The finish line's there in front of the tent. So it's kind of like this like eighth of a lap section here. So here I go trying to get aero, trying not to burn a bunch of energy and just get small in the front and see if I can close the gap. But he is motoring. I think mountain bike was the bike for today with how bumpy the course was. Oop, lost the front wheel a little bit there. That's okay. I had too much of my weight backwards, but you can tell running just fine. All these corners here have grip, except for this corner. This corner does not have grip, and you'll see me go wide, and you'll see that being the bane of my existence. And you see that kid that was in front of me is now back down to 4th. And I'm chasing. This guy's so close. Digging hard to close back onto him, and here I go. I close into him on the uphill, and then on the downhill, he's just got a lot more traction. And even following his line there, he was able to get it turned in a little bit better than I was. But you know what? He punches a pretty big hole in the sand here for me to follow him through. So just back on the wheel, digging hard. It is what it is. And, you know, we're just running, just trying to keep the pace high. Stay away. I don't know what I was thinking. My heart rate's probably through the roof right now. I can't see my little Garmin there, but I can guarantee it's probably in the 180s. You can tell he's got a little bit more confidence because he's got a little bit more tire. I'm on the Adugast. They're 33 and they blow up to 33. Doesn't matter what you put them on. They're 33 all the way around. And you know, sometimes I regret making that decision this year. I think if I would have went with something like a chicane in a 38, I would have been a whole lot better off this cross season so far. But hey, run what you brung, and I chose these tires from the beginning of the season. Next year I may go with something different, and I think I probably will. But I went with these just solely because I wanted a little bit of just all-terrain. What happens when it gets a little wet? It gets a little slick later in the year. You can tell he just opens the gap up here in that last little section. These corners that I'm not super strong in. And we just kind of ride this gap for a long time. Yeah, and then here we go coming around the corner. You can see this guy's charging. Guy coming down my left right there. He is charging, and ultimately he ends up getting on my wheel. And then, you know, a lap later, I take this corner a little wide. And boom, there he goes. He goes by me, digging hard, which is fine. I'm learning things, you know, right? He's local. The guy in front of me is, or the guy on the mountain bike is just a few corners up ahead. 8 seconds or so. There, you see him right there in front of us. 8 seconds or so. But this guy leads us all the way to the end of the lap. And, you know, you just pick up little things from your competitors all the time. That's he didn't get the greatest remount there, and he was a little slow to get back on the pedals. Just little things to learn about the people you're racing as you're going through. What lines are they taking? Where are they strong? Where are they weak? It's a benefit of sitting behind them. And so I go back by him again because ultimately my goal is to lead into the sand section every single time, because I want the lead through there. So I go through there and have the lead through the section. And this is lap 5, so a whole lap later, he comes by me. It's fine by me, whatever. I pushed a little harder there to make him chase. And here at the end of lap 5, I'm behind him again. He's got a real awkward running style, which is fine. Cyclocross is weird. Better remount, but still not great. Turning a too big of a gear. And he actually gets away from me a little bit here because I'm struggling to get back on my pedals, but that's fine. And so we go through the start finish straight, and I go back by him again because I want to go through the sand first. Again, you'll see me just, anytime I'm behind, I just want to get to the sand before the next guy because I want to take the line I want to take. And I believe that I'm taking it faster than whoever else is in front of me. As you can tell, mountain biker's right there in front of me. Punching this big, wide gap. Good line, push. Alright, I successfully rode this sand every single lap except for one of them, and you'll see that coming through. Here's lap 7. I'm pushing a little hard just to make him push a little harder because I know he's coming up the inside. It's fine. Announcer goes, man, second and third seemed to be the race of the day or something along that there. And it kind of really was, man. We were putting on a show, having a good time. I'm yelling at Jack, get the hell out of the way. Love you, Jack. And you can tell this guy's just a little stronger than me through the section. But once again, I'm on his wheel, back by the end of the lap. Back over the barriers. Decent mount for him, decent mount for me. We're neck and neck here. So here, as we come through these last few corners before the sand, I know I need to get in front of him, but get a bad exit here, and getting a good exit onto this big long uphill straight is so important to making it to the sand section first, and I just didn't have it to push again. And we'll get to see what happens and why I wanted to be through the sand first every single lap. So here we go, going to the sand behind a guy in the thing, get out of the rut and up. So alarm bells are going off right now. Everything's going bad. And I'm going to speed this up and watch the chase. Here I go. I'm finally back on. I took every single best line that I could possibly take there to go, man, I need to optimize my riding for the rest of this. My knuckles were hurting. I was gripping the bars so tight, trying to pull every single watt out of myself that I could. But here I am, like 3 corners to the end, and just now got back on to where I can go. Now keep in mind, he hasn't been remounting very well. He hasn't been dismounting very well. And I just got to get beside him here. I just got to get beside him because I am decent through this section. Dismount early, get back on the bike, feet aren't clipped in yet, and start my sprint. Come across the line in second place. Thanks everybody so much. Like, comment, and subscribe. We will see you next race. Good racing, Owen.